Welcome to I-24 News Sports Weekend Edition with some of the biggest stories in the world of sports this past week. It was a very emotional week for NFL fans here in Israel as a delegation from the league came here to promote the game. The local league is obviously not as big and competitive as the one in the US, but thanks to visits such as this one, the game is constantly growing in level and popularity. I-24 News reporter Mirav Savir was in Jerusalem to follow the visit.
The owner of the current Super Bowl champion, New England Patriots, now sponsor Mr. Robert Kraft.
Patriots owner Robert Kraft arrived in Israel last week, and he brought 20 of his friends with him. Kraft is a known supporter of Israel and the sponsor of the Israeli Football League for nearly a decade.
I think back how it's evolved over the last couple of decades. It's really nice to see them competing globally.
The trip was spearheaded by the Israeli ambassador to Washington, Ron Dermer, and included Kraft, 19 Hall of Famers, the president of the Football Hall of Fame, and NFL anchor for CBS, James Brown. On Sunday, they held an event for players of all ages, including a meet and greet. Last Thursday, the IFL champion team played an exhibition game versus the national team, and the Hall of Famers were impressed with what they saw.
It was great. It was really entertaining another night. You know, it looks like the kids, they know the fundamentals of the game, and that's what it's all about.
I was impressed. They had some technique, didn't have a lot of speed. For the most part, I really enjoyed watching these guys get after it. And they were sincere, and they were very competitive.
They even impressed the guy who watches and analyzes football for a living.
First of all, I love the passion, I love the tenacity, and their hunger to learn. Boy, they literally and figuratively ate up the Hall of Famers who came there, and they were picking their brains for the smallest bit of information that would help make them a lot better.
There are 500 players in the IFL, the Israeli Tackle Football League, another 500 in the high school league, and 1,000 Israeli flag football players, including a women's team. For the players, meeting the Hall of Famers is a great chance to learn and promote what they're doing.
Great opportunity and great exposure for the league and for American football globally and in Israel.
The NFL doesn't have many foreign players, but Kraft says it's his dream to see an Israeli in the league and sees potential in some Israeli players making it to the NFL.
I hope so. It might be a special teams player like a kicker or a wide receiver. We'll see. That's the dream.
But some of the players think Israeli football has a bit of a way to go.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done here. Coaching is obviously one of the biggest issues. Fields are an issue. There's still a lot of hurdles for American football, but it's evolved over the years. I played here 4 years ago on this field, and I went to play college football.
Kraft may have an eye on one player in particular, so who knows? There may be an Israeli playing in the NFL soon enough.
And Mirav is here with me in the studio. Hi, Mirav. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So, Mirav, Robert Kraft has been here tens of times. As you've said, he sponsors the league. But such a delegation is something I don't think we've ever seen. What were they doing here? What were the events they participated in?
It's definitely something special, and he brought them along. Obviously, Ron Dermer spearheading these different events. On Thursday, they really had a chance to see the tackle teams get after it, playing one another. And you heard the players, the Hall of Famers, saying what they saw and how impressed they were by what these kids were doing. And these are players and haven't been playing for that long. Tackle football has only been around in Israel for maybe a decade. And then on Sunday, they had some of the other players, flag football, which is something that's been around longer in Israel. And there are teams that compete internationally, which is what you heard Robert Kraft speaking about, women's and men's team who've had a lot of success actually playing internationally. So they had a chance to see them play, and obviously a meet and greet. I don't know who was more excited, the little kids who were there or the adults who actually watched these Hall of Famers play back in the day.
I would bet on the adults, I think.
And me.
No doubt. Another thing, football, American football, was a sport basically non-existent in Israel 20 years ago. Today, it's existing. It's gaining more and more popularity. Any chance of this becoming a professional league, or we're not there yet?
Well, they like to think of the IFL as a professional league. They're trying to help it grow. At the moment, they only have about 8 players on the field at once per team, and that's slowly growing. They're hoping to get to the 11. That's normal in American football. But they have seen the number of players actually playing also growing the past couple of years. And it's not only Americans. It started out as Americans who need a little bit of a taste of home, that miss the sport. And now Israelis are playing as well. They're learning about football, some of them told me, one of them, he said he picked up a football for the first time 4 years ago, fell in love with it, and now he's playing in the league. So as more and more Israelis learn what football is and try to get involved with it, it seems to be growing the league in Israel. And Floyd Little said after seeing them play, he sees football being a big sport here within 8 to 10 years. Maybe not as big as global football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, and basketball, but definitely getting up there. Now, Robert Kraft, he's the sponsor of the IFL. He's also the owner of the New England Patriots, the Super Bowl winners. Any chance he's going to bring the team for a tour here? I don't know if he'll bring the entire team. He has brought Tom Brady in the past. He was here, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago. A lot of people were excited about pictures of him at the Western Wall. Rumor has it that in the past couple of days, Julian Edelman was here as well. Robert Kraft's grandson was bar mitzvahed, so they were all part of the festivities as well, but we didn't get a chance to see him or meet him. But he's bringing them slowly but surely. Everyone's getting a chance to come. And we're very happy to see them obviously here. Merav Savir, thank you very much. Thank you. We tend to think that summertime is a slow time for sports, as many leagues are on the break, but this week proved that it's not exactly like that. With Wimbledon just around the corner, two of the big favorites won their respective warm-up grass tournaments. The race for the championship in the Formula One circuit is boiling hot, and a Yankee reached a major milestone in the MLB. Here's Michael Friedman with our Stars of the Week.
It was another action-packed week in sports around the world, and we witnessed 4 talented athletes accomplish greatness. So who's your favorite star of the week? Nico Rosberg, Alex Rodriguez, Andy Murray, or Roger Federer? We begin with Formula One, where Nico Rosberg won the Austrian Grand Prix for the 2nd time in a row. It was a heated battle, but the German driver beat his teammate Lewis Hamilton, who fell short to 2nd place. Rosberg has now cut the championship lead to just 10 points.
Yeah, guys! Yes! Come on, guys! Great job, Nico. Great job.
The Mercedes driver was enthusiastic as his teammates lifted him up, and there were only smiles for the Austrian Grand Prix winner as he sprayed champagne in celebration.
High fly ball, deep right, Martinez back. Track, whoa, see ya! He did it in style! He joins.
Next, we go to baseball in America, where Alex Rodriguez slugged his 3,000th career hit in style with a home run. The New York Yankee was ecstatic as he ran around the bases in front of the Bronx Bombers. He received big hugs from his teammates, who were able to witness the player crack the homer, becoming the 29th player in Major League history to reach 3,000 hits. A-Rod's home run helped beat the Detroit Tigers 7-2 in Yankee Stadium. Next, we go to tennis, and just ahead of Wimbledon, Andy Murray captured his 4th Queen's title, winning 2 games in one day. The Scotsman first got through Serbia's Viktor Troicki in the semifinals, finishing 6-3 and 7-6. Later that day, Murray faced Kevin Anderson in the finals, claiming the championship 6-3, 6-4 in just 1 hour and 4 minutes. This was the world number 3's 34th tour title, as he won it in style. Staying in tennis, Roger Federer won a record 8th title in Halle, Germany, defeating Andreas Seppi in the final of the Gary Weber Open. The Swissman beat the Italian 7-6, 6-4, and the fans were all cheering for Roger after the match. He now sealed his 15th title from 20 finals on grass. This is Federer's 4th title of the season, and an important one leading to Wimbledon, where he hopes to reclaim the title, which he has not done since 2012. Each of these athletes were impressive in their own sport, whether it's the talented Nico Rosberg conquering the Austrian Grand Prix, Alex Rodriguez with his 3,000th hit, Andy Murray winning the Queen's title, or Roger Federer winning the Halle Open. So you decide your favorite star of the week.
So many times we've seen sports making a change, relieve tensions, improve your life, and here we have another example, an inspiring one. Rami, a former combat soldier in the IDF, suffered from PTSD following his military service and struggled to find something to help him. That is until running came into his life. Michael Friedman, along with the social platform Do Stories 365, bring us the story of Running with Rami, a group that gives its participants much more than just a sporting experience.
Hundreds of thousands of people around the world suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, also referred to as PTSD, which is often evident in people with military experience. Rami Yotzari was a former soldier in the Israeli Defense Force, and like most Israelis, he served in the reserves. While he was an active combat soldier, he faced difficult times with bullets coming his way. Although many would break, Rami found a healthy way of combating the horrible sensation of PTSD. Partnering up with Natal, the Israeli Trauma Center for Victims of Terror and War, he began a group called Running with Rami.
I tried this on my own, but then 3 years ago, I met with people of Natal, and after 3 months, we created the group. I have to admit, I had a clear idea in my mind, but no one really knew if it would work. In the first 6 months, I was constantly afraid, because I know what it's like to deal with post-trauma. I was always afraid people would stop coming, but they always kept coming in the end.
Natal is a non-profit organization in Israel which knows the importance of helping those in need who suffer from any form of PTSD. The organization was founded in 1998 and has been looking after patients and victims all over the country.
We took care until now of more than 200,000 people all over the country, and we are very active in normal time and in emergency time. And I always say that we are we have a big mission, and it's really from our soul that we feel that this work is really very special to help to a lot of people.
The running group goes on weekly runs, organized races, but what's truly special about the members is what they each have in common.
I think the one thing we create is the feeling that every Israeli who goes to the army has a feeling that stays with them. These are your best friends, and they will be with you till the end. We have to give each former combat soldier the feeling that they belong to some unit where they can meet people like them.
One of the greatest challenges for many people is the fear of admitting they have a problem, but this running group has helped solve that for both Rami and its other members.
It's a team with a common denominator. All those who come to the group know that all of the people have the same issues. You solve the shame that one might have because people are sometimes afraid to go and tell others they suffer from PTSD.
While PTSD has been a major struggle for Rami and people around the world, the opportunity that sport has to enhance one's life is truly remarkable and everlasting.
And Michael joins me here in the studio. Hi, Michael. Thank you for coming.
Hi.
So you spent the day with Rami. How important this is for him to treat his condition, but also help others going through the same symptoms?
It was very special meeting him and seeing, what he went through and the difficulties that he faced with all the trauma. But his case was very special, and the way he was able to bounce back and be, able to start this running group was fantastic. And really, the belief and the idea of moving on and being stronger was very, very nice, and able to witness that was fantastic.
Now, we heard the people saying that perhaps one of the biggest obstacles for people with PTSD is the shame that they may feel, the fact that they're afraid to show what they are. This group solves it because they don't only run, but they can share the experience. Everyone's the same.
First of all, they have nothing to be ashamed of. Obviously, PTSD, the trauma, is something that many people go and face, especially after war. But like he said, being able to have the guy to your left and to your right understand what you've been through, it's a special bond, and they each are able to work together, and they feel connected, and it makes it easier.
They relate to each other.
They relate to one another, and that's something that sport does in general. It's a great opportunity to put people together and bond. So this was phenomenal to witness how they were all as one in the end.
And now we heard that the Natal Foundation is very, very strong in their involvement. How important is the fact that such a national figure such as Natal is involved in these kind of groups?
Well, Natal is an incredible organization. The people there are warm and caring, and just meeting them, you could see how they really want to help and make the lives of everyone better. But what they're able to do with Rami's running group really gets the level to a higher level. They have a hotline, counseling service. They do sponsor various activities for the suffering of people with PTSD. So really, Rami's idea of having a running group really got to go above and beyond by partnering up with Natal.
And now this group runs in the Tel Aviv area. We are hearing that following the success, now a second group is being established in Jerusalem.
The first group, obviously, very successful. So they want to take that and expand upon it, bring it to Jerusalem. So I think it's going to be a great idea. It's going to be really positive there. And hopefully more and more people will feel comfortable coming out with their PTSD and having the support system by their side.
So many advantages to this story. Very inspiring. Michael Friedman, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
And that's it for this weekend edition. Don't forget you can watch this and every other show on our website at i24news.tv. We are also on Facebook and on Twitter. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your weekend.